maaaring ituring na seditious o disorderly conduct ang panawagan nito sa Armed Forces of the Philippines na bawiin ang Davao del Norte Representative Pantaleon.
Magandang araw po sa inyo lahat. Ito ang inyong likod, si Freddy. At binabati ko muna po kayo ng isang dyan sa Pilipinas, magandang gabi, at dito naman sa Amerika ay magandang umaga. Ang petsa po ngayon ay April 17, 2024, araw po ng Miyerkules. Ngayon, itong aking YouTube ay ako po ay dating isang membro ng Toastmaster Club International dyan sa Bacolod City, Barangay Toastmaster Club, at ako po ay nagtrabaho sa PLDT for 26 years at naging medical worker so ako dito sa Amerika for 18 years. Okay? So, kung hindi pa kayo nakapag-subscribe ay press the red button below to subscribe to my channel, and it's all free. Ngayon, kung ay pwede ko kayong mag-comment whether in Filipino or in English. At the same time, give me a big likes, and you could share this video. And all those who want to share this video to others, I give you my permission. Okay? I give you my permission. It's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong. Okay? Now, ang aking paksa for araw na ito ay tungkol dito kay dalawa ito, no? Una ay kay dating Congressman Pantaleon Alvarez, dating Speaker of the House of Representatives dyan sa Pilipinas. At the same time, tatalakayin ko ang nangyayari ngayon dyan sa Pilipinas, ang breakdown ng mga power generation or power plant generation dyan sa Pilipinas. Meron ako konting background because I worked for PLDT for many years. In fact, 26 years ako nagtrabaho sa PLDT and 10 years as an engineer dyan sa Bacolod City. Okay? Bacolod City and Iloilo City. Okay? So, kaya pwede ko talakayin ang pagiging dyan sa problema sa power plant. Ito is from my point of view. Okay? Now, dito kay Ejerson I'm sorry. I stand to be corrected. But Pantaleon Alvarez from Davao. Okay? Ito po ang tatalakayin ko dito sa news na ito.
Na hindi maaaring ituring na seditious o disorderly conduct ang panawagan nito sa Armed Forces of the Philippines na bawiin ang suporta kay Pangulong Ferdinand Marcos Jr. dahil sa mga polisiya ng administrasyon na anya'y nagpapaigting ng tensyon sa West Philippine Sea. Ginawa nito ang pahayag matapos balaan ng kapwa kongresista sa posibilidad na maharap ito sa investigasyon ng House Committee on Ethics. Ilang mambabatas din ang nagsabing maaaring ikonsiderang sedition ang mga pahayag ni Congressman Alvarez. Ayon kay Alvarez, ang pahayag niya ay kasama sa karapatang protektado ng konstitusyon na malayang pamamahayag at mapayapang pagpupulong.
Alam po ninyo, si Congressman Pantaleon Alvarez ay kapartido at from the camp of former President Rodrigo Duterte, which is now fighting the administration of Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Sr., our President and the Commander-in-Chief of all the Armed Forces of the Philippines and Philippine National Police. Okay, and also the Chief Executive. So by that position, per Philippine Constitution ay wala pong karapatan si Congressman Pantaleon Alvarez na hikayatin ang members of the military to withdraw support to the President being an AFP reservist. Actual ho yan. Meron na siyang posisyon. Yan. Kaya hindi ho niya pwedeng gawin at ito ay pwede siyang kasuhan at ito ay under investigation na at under review by the Department of Justice headed by Secretary Boying Remulla. Ito po ang aking na-research tungkol sa kanya. Military members have different freedoms of speech, rights, than civilian. Kakaiba ko kasi siya ay reservist. Being a reservist, it prohibits service member from using disrespectful language toward civilian leadership. Sino po ba ang civilian leadership? Yan po ang ating Presidente Bongbong Marcos Jr., who made the country great when it comes to economy and military power through the effort and collaboration with the United States of America, other European countries, including France right now. Ang sabi ko ang sinasabi ng ating Constitution, speech is not protected by the First Amendment of the Philippine Constitution, 1987 Philippine Constitution, including de jure speeches, obscenity, and fighting words. Ang ginamit po niya dito ay fighting words. Although, nilagyan niya ng peace. Hindi po yun. Because you are talking, you are speaking, you are addressing this speech to the armed forces of the Philippines to withdraw support to the President of the Republic of the Philippines. Okay. Ito po ang pananaw ng ating Philippine National Security Advisor, General Eduardo Año, retired. Any call for withdrawal of support from a public official like Congressman Pantaleon Alvarez from Davao is illegal and unconstitutional. Yan po. At lahat po ng mga public official now, like example, Vice President Sara Duterte, hindi po pwede. Congressman Duterte of Davao, hindi rin pwede. Mayor Duterte of Davao, hindi po sila pwede. Kaya, kasi ano sila, public official eh. Hindi po rin pwede nilang gawin ang ginagawa nito ni Congressman Alvarez. Okay? Si Digong Duterte ay wala na po. Pwede niyang gawin. Okay? Pwede niya nang gawin. Kasi hindi na siya presidente. Pero hindi na siya covered. Wala na siyang immunity and can be sued. Can be sued for illegal acts. Okay? Kaya pwede ko siyang mabilanggo. Okay. Kaya Congressman Alvarez, nadinig ko na humingi ka ng tawad. Ewan ko kung pagbibigyan ka, kung ikaw ay nag-sorry. And also at the same time, this message is addressed to Maharlika here in America, there in Los Angeles, California. Nakalimutan mo, Maharlika, na narito ka sa Amerika at ang Amerika at ang Pilipinas ay almost iisa now. Do you know that? Okay. Kinalaban mo ang administrasyon o ang gobyerno ng Pilipinas, parang kinalaban mo na rin ang bansang Amerika. Kasi kumakampi ka sa China, which is an enemy. Okay? Now, ito naman po ang pangalawa kong tatalakayin ay tungkol dyan sa mga power plants natin dyan sa Pilipinas. Hindi lingid sa aking kalaman. Nalalaman ko yan na nagkakaroon kayo ng frequent brownout dyan sa Pilipinas. Lalo na dyan sa Luzon and at the same time, Bisaya, which I came from and worked for 10 years under PLDT. Ang power plants po ay maraming bagay na ito ay minomonitored and sinusupervised and inspector and is being inspected by the Department of Energy. I do hope that the Department of Energy will make an inspection of all different power plants there in the Philippines in order for us to protect the integrity of the nation, because makakasama ho ito kung magkakaroon tayo ng ganyan na sunod-sunod na breakdown ng ating mga power plants, which the administration is trying to correct with the use of different energy different sources of power plant. Okay? In the meantime, the Department of Energy should do its duty to monitor and supervise the operation of the existing power plant all over Luzon and all over Bisaya. Ang Luzon grid ay run by National Power Corporation or yan po ang nangangalaga sa ating Luzon grid, while the what do you call this one? NSGD ba yun? Ay being run by Chinese company or by Chinese government there in the Bisaya, including Cebu, Panay, and Negros. The National Power Grid Corporation, I think, NGCP, National Power Grid Corporation. Ang 60% po niyan ay controlled by Chinese there in the Philippines, and the 40% is controlled by the China government. Kaya hindi ko alam kung ano ang pagkakaiba na but all of them are Chinese na binigay ko ni Rodrigo Roa Duterte during his administration. Ito nangyari. Sunod-sunod na breakdown, sunod-sunod. Kasi mainit ito talaga. Pero you cannot always blame the existing na masyadong mainit dyan. It reaches up to 42 degrees centigrade, 45, 51 degrees. Meron tayong mga solusyon. You're an engineer. Yung mga engineers dyan sa Pilipinas, the electrical engineers should find out a solution to the problem of overheating of our power plants. Kailangan nakahanda tayo. Okay? Ang power plant should be prepared for hot weather by reducing and accounting for it. Reducing heat or reducing excessive use. Kaya nadinig nyo ba dyan sa Pilipinas? Sabi ng gobyerno, limit the use of electricity. Mag-reduce tayo ng power load. Ngayon, ang power load, ang ating mga thermal power plant operate at 90 to 93% of their capacity when temperatures exceed 40 degrees centigrade. Kasi yung nag-overheat yan nag-overheat. Kaya meron tayo nakikita nyo sa mga ice cold, meron nung mga tubig dyan, parang it's cool the temperature of generating, kita nyo yung ice, paggawa ng ice, yan ang ginagamit. Parang makul, parang nakakita kayo ng mga sasakyan, ng mga radiator. Di ba naglalagay pa ako ng coolant? Nung ako nagmamaneho, nilalagyan ko ng coolant yung radiator. Kasi kasi minsan yung tubig hindi nakakayang palamigin yung mga yung makina. Nagsisirculate yan. Nagsisirculate parang katawan ng tao. Yung tubig. Ngayon, pag dumaan yung tubig sa katawan, inilalabas natin yan. Makikita nyo pag umihi kayo, mainit. Ganon din sa makina. Ngayon, kasi hindi kaya ng tubig, nilalagyan natin ng coolant. O, di ba? Ayan. Binabanggit ko ito para sa inyong kalaman. Para hindi kayo nagreklamo, bakit ba kami nawawala ng kuryente? Bakit ba panay na panay ang kuryente? Ba't nagkakaroon ng distribution? Kasi kailangan, we all know there in the Philippines that there will be a El Nino. That there will be La Nina, especially El Nino. You should prepare for it as an engineer. You guys are there at National Power Corporation and at the same time at NGCP, National Grid Corporation. You should know that you should have a better plan in order for you to address to the Board of Energy, to the Department of Energy, your recommendation in order for the Congress to act on this matter. So we need to have more power plants. We need to expand more power plants, and we need to ask more investors, most especially here in America. Now we could ask the investors here in America, like General Electric, Siemens, okay, involved yan dito sa generating power plant. Ano ba ang other power plant that we could use? We could use solar farms, kailangan maglagay tayo ng maraming solar farms. Solar farms in order to generate more electricity. Like yung ating mga government buildings diyan sa Pilipinas. We could ask our congressmen to make sure that all buildings, all facilities by the government agencies, yung mga high-rise building should be equipped with solar on top of their buildings. They could instill in order to reduce the electricity. So they could use that electricity during night time. Am I right? Kailangan batas yan. Maglalagay tayo ng budget. We should prepare. So any eventuality that will come, we know that there will be from time to time El Nino. So we need to discuss it further. Kailangan magmi-meeting po kayo dyan sa Pilipinas. Magkakaroon kayo ng board meeting from time to time. And make a plan. Okay? And also we need to have wind turbines. Wind turbines. Meron ho dito mga wind farm dito sa Amerika. Dito lang ho sa Texas meron. And finally, we are going to wait for the activation of Bataan nuclear plant and small-scale nuclear plant all over the country. Yung tama ho na hindi tumatama sa mga yung mga reactors, delikado kasi yan eh. We need a plan. Hindi ho pwedeng activate agad yan. Kailangan matagal ang proseso dyan. Pag gumagana na yan, saan nyo ilalagay yung nuclear waste niyan? Meron nung plano yan, hindi basta-basta. In the meantime, we need to use the conventional way, and at the same time, we use yung pwedeng i-recycle o renewable energy. Okay? Ngayon, sa mga power plant, we need a better cooling system to our power plants. Diyan ngayon sa Pilipinas. Para hindi magkaroon ng breakdown. At the same time, kailangan talaga magdagdag. Para in case na si power plant A ay bumaksak, power plant B will take over. At yung power plant C ay meron din. At si power plant D ang magte-take over. At iyan ay regularly at periodically to be inspected and to be maintained. Hindi yung basta ganun lang. Natakbo lang ng takbo at hindi nyo mapigil kasi pag tumigil kayo, mag-breakdown kayo, ay hindi kayo kikita. Kailangan meron kayong kasunod. And we should ask more investors, foreign investors, to put up a more power plant, hindi lang local. Na ngayon ay pinangungunahan ng San Miguel Corporation, ang pinakamalaking power generating unit dyan sa Pilipinas. Kasi ang San Miguel Corporation ay maraming negosyo, kaya hindi niya matutukan ang power plant. So we need more investors coming, direct foreign investors that will propel the economy of the country. Okay? We need more planning, guys, so that there will be more power plants and there will be uninterrupted power supply, most especially to our hospitals, to our manufacturing, to future semiconductors. We need more semiconductors, like in Taiwan. Microchips. Okay? Japan. We should be like Japan and Taiwan and Korea. Okay, guys, this is Rose again. I hope that you learned something from me. Kahit maliit lang to, I could help, and I hope that we will see again in my next vlog. Your host, Freddy. In God we trust. Never hold your peace. I'll see you in my next vlog.